jungle, thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening me. Galileo, Figaro, Magnifico. He's just a poor boy from a poor family, sparing his life from this monstrosity.
Bismillah.
No, we will not let you go, let it go. We will not let you go, let it go. We will not let you go, let me go. Will not let you go, let me go. Never, never, never let me go. No, 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 no. Mamma mia, let me go. Beelzebub has the devil put aside for me, for me, for me. So you think you can sew me and spit in my eye? So you think you can love me and leave me to die? Oh, baby, can't do this to me, baby. Just gotta get out, just gotta get right out of here. Nothing really matters, anyone can see. Nothing really matters, nothing really matters to
I formally declare the Congregation of Graduation open. The anthem we've just heard was commissioned for us by the Bournemouth Symphony Orchestra as part of the celebrations, and we thank them and the musicians. Thank you very much. Graduands, graduates, family, friends, partners, supporters, members of the university community, graduation is a wonderful moment. There's a sense in the British character that we don't display too much contentment and pleasure with our own achievements. This is not a moment for that. This is a moment for overt, explicit celebration of a major milestone in a person's life. We're celebrating today the award of degrees to students who worked hard to get here. Exeter is not an easy university to get into, and it's getting harder. And people who have achieved excellence in their courses. So, as that marker of progression, and as I hope students might reflect on, well, how have I changed over the last 3 years? How was I on my first day that I came to uni, and how I am today? I think there is much to celebrate and feel good about. Exeter is a university which seeks to help the whole person develop within the context of an academic institution. We have strong values which have stood by us over the last 65 years or so of our history. I'm going to be speaking to you later, but during the congregation, I will be awarding the degrees to our graduates. As I occasionally say to them, this is the moment when you get the chance to put those letters after your name, and it's very exciting for them. But now I'm going to invite Professor Mark Goodwin to speak to congregation. Thank you.
Jack William Bond. Harvey Martin Brown. Hannah Amy Bryan. Hannah Bullock. James Kahn. Daniel Peter Chamberlain.
I now call upon Amy Clegg of the Athletics Union to give the student vote of thanks.
Hello, Exeter graduates. It's a genuine pleasure to address you all as graduates for the first time today. I feel very overwhelmed, stood up here, greeted by an ocean of proud friends, family members, and graduates. Some relieved they didn't fall over on stage, some in total disbelief that they've made it here today, and all beaming with pride. I'd like to share with you a poem which Rudyard Kipling wrote for his son. It's called If. I'm sure a lot of you, parents and graduates alike, will be able to relate to this poem, particularly today. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet not look too good nor talk too wise. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, if you can meet with triumph and disaster and treat those two impostors just the same, if you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you gave your life to, broken, and stoop and build them up with worn-out tools. If you can make one heap of all your winnings, and risk it in one turn of pitch and toss, and lose and start again at your beginnings, and never breathe a word about your loss. If you can force your heart and nerve and sinew to turn your turn long after you're gone, and so hold on when there is nothing in you, except the will which says to them, hold on. If you can talk with crowds and keep your virtue, or walk with kings nor lose the common touch, if neither foes nor loving friends can hurt you, if all men count on you, but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. Yours is the earth and everything that's in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. My dad shared this with me on my graduation day a year ago today, and it's been with me ever since. I hope this poem leaves you feeling a certain determination. This is a renowned global institution, and if the bumper stickers are anything to go by, probably the best university in the world. Your University of Exeter graduates, able to instigate change, the critical thinkers and problem solvers of tomorrow. Let's take the time to thank friends and family in the room today, without whom your successes may not have been possible. Thank you for your patience, thank you for your time, and thank you for your unwavering support. My own experiences have taught me how pivotal support networks are in the long processes which culminate in days like today. But graduates, today is about celebrating you, be it raising a glass, getting a photo on the infamous Exeter Rock, or heading to the beach to celebrate with an ice cream. The lesser-known motto of the University of Exeter is the Latin Lucem Sequina. It colloquially translates as bleed green, but the more literal translation is follow the light. You may not realize it yet, but your time here has equipped you to do just that. Be ambitious, be rigorous, and continue to be exceptional. Fill every unforgiving minute with 60 seconds worth of distance run. I hope that even if you remember not a single word of mine so far, then you remember this. It is absolutely still possible to make a difference. Thank you all so much, and good luck.
Thank you, Amy, to you personally and to the Athletics Union and the Guild for the absolutely tremendous work you do in fostering and supporting the community of the university. Many of our students come here as the first serious time away from home. Indeed, for some, the first time away from their home country. And that's not easy, and they need support then, and they need support throughout their time here. And the Athletics Union and the Students' Guild and the university's own professional staff do a lot to help students cope with some of those stresses. And I'm very aware of the stresses. We talk about our great success, the success of our students, the success of the university. But there is a stressful world in which these predominantly young people are exposed, and it's very important that we do everything which we can to help and support them. I also want to thank the City of Exeter. We are not a big university, although we're growing, but we are quite big in the context of the community in which we live. We're big as a proportion of Exeter. That brings great advantage to Exeter. It also brings occasional allegations of noise late at night. I keep telling the mayor it's not the students, sir. It's the old age pensioners. We thank the people of Exeter. We thank the professional service staff of the university, more than 2,500 people who make this place work. The fact that chairs are in the right place, the experimentation equipment is in the right laboratory, the video is set up properly, doesn't happen by accident, the lawns don't get mowed by accident or the trees pruned. And we have a great support team here who make this small town of nearly 30,000 people operate efficiently. And last but not least, I want to thank the academics, some of whom are gathered on the stage here today with us. One of the joys of this ceremonial role that I do is to see the students coming across the stage and how many of them reach out to say thank you to a lecturer or whisper and mouth a thank you to somebody on the far side of the stage. Some have a slight look, normally the men who swagger a bit, that you didn't think you'd see me here, did you? Well, I'm here. But truly, in a university, it's very difficult to get the right balance between research, which often drives the academics. This is what they really want to do, is to find new things and develop ideas, and teaching. And the two go together. But most universities struggle to get the balance right, and they tend to bias one way or the other. We've been very fortunate in Exeter. We're ranked very highly for research, as Mark said, but also for teaching. We're one of only a small number of Russell Group universities, the so-called elite research universities, that also get a gold star for teaching excellence. And I think it's a great tribute to the people on the stage and their colleagues for everything that they do, and we thank you very, very much. Now, I'm sure there's somebody out there nudging the person next to them, saying, thank goodness, he's getting to that point where the headmaster or the headmistress always used to urge the children to reach higher and be even more ambitious. Yes, I am reaching that point. I could say to you, go out there and fight great injustices. Be the voice for people who don't have voices. Fight for a better world in medicine and science, in geography, for sporting excellence, be great entrepreneurs, etc. Set those really stretching, visionary ambitions. I'm actually going to implore something much simpler. I'm going to say, be happy. I think being happy is terribly important. I don't mean the superficial happiness that comes with assistant substances, or I'll explain it to you later. And I certainly don't mean the happiness that we see on social media, where everybody is smiling and the center of a party and somewhere beautiful, and in case I'm just sitting at home reading the newspaper. I mean a deeply rooted happiness based on a true awareness of your personal strengths and your weaknesses, working to the former, addressing the latter, having a purpose in life. I think happiness is very difficult if you don't have a purpose. And you have abilities which have been honed and developed here at the university and will continue to develop. Using those abilities in a purposeful and meaningful way can be hugely satisfying. And that in turn spills over into relationships. Great relationships based upon trust and love are very important. And that is part, I think, of a route to happiness. So a purposeful life, a life built upon strong, enduring, honest relationships. And then I think if you do that, you may actually go out and do some of those other things that I could have urged you to do. I don't think you're going to do them unless you're happy. So this is not a call for you to be hedonistic and pleasure-seeking. It is to say that achieving your objectives probably, importantly, depends on your sense of inner peace, contentment, and happiness. Now, Professor Goodwin has made it quite difficult for some of you today. He's told you that 95% of our graduates are in full-time employment within 6 months, and that you're going to be earning much more than other graduates in a few years' time. Doesn't sit easily with what you've been telling Mum and Dad about. Everybody goes travelling, Mum and Dad, after. They all do. Nobody goes straight to work. Do whatever you think is right for you. It's been a pleasure to have you here with us, and we want you to stay with us. We want you to say, I mean, quite frankly, some of the things we've taught you, in 10 years' time, we're all going to know more. So you might be up to date now, but you may not be in 10 years' time. So stay connected with learning, stay connected with the university. And the Alumni Association, I've met them across the world, is tremendous. So you find yourself going to some far-flung place, there will be somebody from Exeter there, and they will be thrilled to meet you, to hear how things are going and what the news is around the campus. So you're part of a bigger family here. And then, but finally, also, you've got these wonderful people upstairs and at the front who supported you and got you here. And so I think this is a moment of happiness for me. I'm sure it's a moment of happiness for the students and everybody in the hall. And I wish you well in the future. And at this point, I bring the congregation to conclusion. Thank you very much.